And I give you
Yeah, no.
That's a clean bag.
Yeah, whatever
Because
kind of
you're gonna
bag you have. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, here, there's a bunch of bags here. Yeah, lots. You can fill that up. It'll be a miracle.
All right, Josie.
So mandel bread is Jewish. It's a Jewish cookie.
It's a Jewish biscotti. Yeah. At least that's my definition.
Have you ever encountered it anywhere else in the world, like besides Chicago and?
Well, biscotti.
Biscotti.
Yeah. I mean, Italy is I think probably the original.
Yeah, but never.
It's a hard cookie that you generally have with coffee, and if you're a dunker, for sure. It's meant to be dunked.
Ingredients. This is what we're going to be using to make the mandel bread
Okay.
recipe. Okay. You need to break the 4 eggs
Okay. What are
and
we
put it
doing?
into the
Big bowl.
Rena, show me what you're doing here.
She's just breaking eggs.
Just breaking some eggs.
Oh, look at her. She's really a pro. 4 eggs, and then there's going to be 1.5 cups of sugar. Well, there's a serious competition between Jewish women who makes the best mandel bread.
Right.
So I came here and I made great mandel bread. Shirley, my friend, also made mandel bread. She said hers was better. I said mine was better. So we decided we would have a bake-off.
Right.
We had a bake-off, and no question, hers was better. So I've been making her recipe. I did. Now we're going to put in 1.5 cups of oil.
2 teaspoons of baking powder.
Okay. A teaspoon of salt.
Okay. Curry. Teaspoon.
Okay.
Salt.
Salt vanilla. Okay, we need a 1/2 teaspoon. This would be the 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. If
Okay.
you need more vanilla, I have another one.
Mhm.
And 1/2 teaspoon of almond extract. Yep, that's okay. Get rid of a little bit of it. But too late. We'll see.
We're gonna have very almondy.
Mandel in Hebrew means almond,
Oh, okay.
and this is all the almond it gets.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
We
so
got
it's
extra
gonna be
almond in this one.
This is super Jew.
Yeah, super Jew.
You sift a cup of the flour stuff into there, beat then. 1 cup, there's 4 cups altogether.
Mhm.
I'm gonna do it 4 times. Do you know that this is probably 60 years old?
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
And then it still works.
And it's still works, and this is what you do. And there's 3 sifts, 3 screens
Uh-huh.
that it gets past. So if you do too much, sometimes I pour in too much, it's not a good thing. That's very good, very good.
Okay.
You don't have a sifter?
I have a colander that I use to sift with.
I don't know if that's good enough.
Oh, this is like a powdered sugar thing. Oh, that's great.
Okay, because you're gonna finish up with more. So now you beat that in.
Okay.
This part is really, it's messy. This is the messy part. But the tomorrow part, that's really messy.
fourth cup, huh? Yeah. And how much thicker did it get as you went? More difficult to incorporate? Yeah.
The Jewish people have encountered many difficulties. So do you think it's essential that our cookie be very difficult to make?
The cookies don't know they're Jewish. They think they're biscotti. We're the last step before putting in the nuts or whatever else we're going to put in. And the recipe calls for the walnuts to be chopped, but not too fine. So I found already done. They're already chopped first time. So we're going to try it. Yeah, and then you mix that into here.
Here, Jesse wants to do the nuts.
Pour it in.
I'll handle the nuts. And now we just mix it in?
Yeah, but usually use this. That's too flexible.
Okay. Making a mess.
Yeah. Could have been a lot worse.
But you said it was almonds that,
Well, that's what it means.
but there's no almonds in it.
Almond extract. That's as close as it gets to almonds. Okay? What I did was to put wax paper and to get rid of all the air around this. So this is all the batter compacted and airtight. And I put it in the refrigerator for overnight.
Yeah, we'll plug in the mic if you want.
Very good. You're very good students. I'm very proud. Very good. You're not finished yet.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Do you like mandel bread?
Well, I like it. I love it. You kidding?
Yeah. We're gonna have so much mandel bread for you at the end of this
Oh, I like
journey.
Just because I don't leave it, I keep on doing it as I go along.
Yeah.
So you have a hand mixer?
I handheld one, yeah.
Yes. A sifter, you need a real sifter.
What happens if you don't sift it? We don't know.
As a matter of fact, it doesn't call for the sifter. I just
You
do it.
You threw in that stuff.
Yeah. Anytime I use the flour and this kind of stuff, I sift a couple. When I was teaching Stan Sarrow how to do this, he loved my mandel bread, and he kept on hiding it from his wife. He would come meet me at the door, take the bag of mandel bread, and hide it in the freezer. She never thanked me for the mandel bread. I said to him, I'm going to teach you how to make mandel bread. Well, he was a lawyer. He was not a cook. But he's it was his kitchen. And he's far and wide known for his mandel bread now. But I'm his mentor. It's made a difference in his life. And he's happy. And she is really happy because he cooks.
So we've completed day 1
Yes.
of the arduous mandel bread journey.
No, this is the easy part.
This is. Well, we'll be back tomorrow then
Yeah.
for part 2.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Grandma.
You're welcome. Okay, we're getting ready for the baking part now. This is day 2. And I want bake at 3 I'm gonna make it 325. Okay. All right, what we do now is get the cold batters
Okay.
and get your hands as cold as they can be. Okay. What we're gonna wanna do is get 5 strips out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Now ordinarily it's 6, but we got that one. You can leave, you're gonna make 5 while it's here.
Okay.
A log. And see, this goes really nice, right? Wait, you'll see.
This
Doesn't
log?
last. That's good.
Okay.
You get it as even as you can, but
It's sticky.
yeah, well, it's gonna get worse.
All right, that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a skinny one, as you'll
Oh,
see.
that's skinny. Okay, got it.
And we may want to scrunch it. We'll see how we end up.
Get out.
You gotta figure it out.
Okay. How about that?
That's a good one.
Okay.
This is
too skinny.
it's too skinny.
Let's do that.
What is this right here? This is a secret step?
Sugar. I thought it was part of the deal, and it turns out it was not. It's not part of the original recipe. But I think it's a good thing to do. It should be at 325, which this is not. So we'll do the timing accordingly. And then it would, I generally put it on for half the time, and then I switch
the
shows.
trays. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Grandma. What should we ask? Well, I wanted to get just some more background on.
Well, I don't like chocolate,
Mhm.
so this was perfect, and it's good. It's not too sweet. It's most people really like it, and so and then you develop a reputation because people's mothers used to make mandel bread, and either it was wonderful and they loved it, or mine is better and they love it, and so you develop a reputation for mandel bread. You go to somebody's house for dinner, you bring mandel bread, they expect that, and it's my claim to fame here.
Do you remember the first time you had mandel bread?
It was in Chicago. After we were married, and Jeannie's mandel bread, I think, was probably the first mandel bread I ever had. They were Ashkenazi, and
But no one quite knows where it came from originally.
I don't. I have no idea. From heaven. As far as I know, mandel means almond. When my nephew moved his family to Israel, there was a whole thing about changing their name from Wernick, he was my brother's son, to something more Israeli. And it wasn't mandel. I don't know. Anyhow, it came out that was when the first I knew that mandel was almond. And I may be wrong. Maybe that's an urban legend.
All right, Grandma, why don't you list out step by step what you do?
Well, you should have a printed copy of the recipe, and what you do is on the mixing part, you put the ingredients together, and when you've got the batter all put together, the batter is a very stiff batter, and when you get it all together, you put it leave it in the mixing bowl, cover the batter with wax paper so that there's no air, and put it in the refrigerator for overnight, because you want to work with cold batter. Don't know why. That's part of the deal. And it was not part of the original. The one that I made in Chicago, no refrigerator. There was nothing like that. So this It's really, it's an uncomplicated recipe. There's nothing unusual about it, I don't think. Do you?
But it's a pain in the butt a little bit.
Well, it's at this point, it's when it gets at its thickest and you've put in the nuts or the whatever, it's very hard for me to stir. And the mixer no longer will do it. So it's really hard. And it was nice that you guys were here and you did that part. But it's for me now, I have to plan ahead to make mandel bread because it's a physical expenditure that doesn't always work for me.
So she did the whole thing?
You want to talk about today? What are we doing today? What's this?
Today we're going to do the baking part. So you've got cold batter. You make it into 6 logs and put it on a baking sheet that you sprayed with the PAM for baking, and put it in the oven. In the combination, you can't. The oven isn't big enough to put the 2 side by side. It's unfortunate. So we're going to have to change at the halfway point. We're going to have to change positions, and then when it looks right, because the oven is not reliable. When it looks right, you take them out and switch positions. When it's ready, you take the whole thing out, let it cool for a couple of seconds, and put it on the baking sheet, on the breadboard thing. And then we're going to cut it into the slices with a very sharp knife, because you don't want to mess up the slices. And then you lay them out on the baking sheet, put them back in for 12 minutes. So, but you're watching the whole time because you don't want them to get too done. And the positioning in my oven, anyhow, it's tricky. So you got to keep your eye on it. You can't go and forget about it. And then when they're baked, when they're toasted on that side, then you flip them all over and do the other side. Again, you're watching, and then you cool them and eat them, and and slice. You slice them, and then you get a very big yield. You get a lot of mandel bread from this.
Here, it's tasteable. Okay,
Tastes good.
she's got it down.
Okay, good.
Can I just put it in the middle right here?
I would put it in the bottom.
Now we gotta rotate the mandel bread. Grandma told us to do it. Can you tell the mandel bread story again, and like what the history of mandel bread and like how?
I have no idea. All I know is that in Chicago, that was something that I baked. My friend Jeannie Shore had a recipe. She was the queen of mandel bread, totally different from what we just put in the oven. And she gave me the recipe, and there's something about mandel bread and Jewish mothers. Makes you very competitive. My mandel bread had to be better than her mandel bread. And she felt the same way. And of course mine was the best. So when we moved here, I still was making that recipe, and my friend Shirley said that she made mandel bread too, and hers was the best. And that's the way we all were about the mandel bread. So I said, no, mine's definitely the best. We should have a bake-off. So we did. We had a bake-off, and her recipe was better. And so I stopped making the other mandel bread, and this is now my mandel bread for, we've been living here for close to 50 years. And that's my mandel bread now. And I make it better than Shirley.
Okay, those can stay in some more.
What are we doing now, Grandma?
Just leaving these to cool and making room for when the next batch will be ready.
Okay. How much longer do you think for the next batch?
So we can't have a tragedy. Dale really got shortchanged. All right, when they're cool enough, they're good, ready for tasting.
Okay.
Voila.
Doing okay?
Yeah. I think. What do you think?